clarity's sake, this is a sponsored segment with them. So I've played their game a bunch of times in the past. They're a smaller game, smaller indie. What's the price point compared to Magic? It is not as expensive as Arena, but it's not quite as free to play as something like Runeterra. That being said, they actually announced they're going to be doing a promotion soon where for the remainder of this month, they're going to be giving away the entirety of their core set to people that are coming in. Their game has their first set, their core set, plus 2 other expansions. So if you're looking to poke in, I think they're going to start doing that tomorrow. You'll be able to get all of the cards from the core set for free. It's like 460 out of the 700 cards in the game currently. So something you saw me do here on the first turn, this game has a resource system with colors in it similar to Magic, but unlike Magic where you put resource cards into your deck, in Mythgard, you can take any individual card and burn it off back into your deck. Yeah, they added some cosmetics, Andrew, and cleaned up the interface and a few things. One of the client features that I didn't mention is that there's an in-game deck tracker as well here. So I can look and see Tenerial Patrol here is the card that I burned, and there's a little orange dot there that is the card that I burned. And if you miss what card your opponent burned, you could go ahead and look and see what card they burned back into their deck right here in client. Yeah, it's not, and it's not a chance to win the core set Ewok. Everybody can get a copy of the core set with the codes they're going to be giving out. And they're straight up just giving it away. So the combat in this game is lane based with similar to Magic. So it's similar to Magic in that you attack and they can block with the asterisk that what's the word that I'm searching for? With the asterisk that you can only block things that are directly in front of your 3 lane. So for example, I'm going to put this unit here. And this unit here means that it blocks both of these units here. And you can see when I mouse over a unit, it highlights which lanes block it. So this one cares about these 3 lanes. This cares about these 3. Yes, and you can see like my deck that I'm playing is a 2-color deck. And the 2 cards I've burned so far are orange cards. So I have 2 total resources and 2 orange gems down here. And if I want to play one of these purple cards, I'm going to need a purple gem. So I'll have to burn a purple card in order to do that.
Watch the net.
So this card is a 2/3/2. When it comes to play, it deals 1 damage. And there's a lot of cards like this one, for example, that care about positional things. So when I play this here, you can see it highlights that it's going to kill the Strogi Pup. If I put it here, nothing's happening. If I put it here, it highlights that it's going to deal 1 damage to that unit. Yes, it's that illusion. It's basically the hex. Well, it's actually not the hex threshold system, because, for example, you spend the colors. So when I play this purple card here, you see my purple gem lights up in the lower thing here. It spends 2 resources and spends the purple. So it's similar. It's similar to hex, but not exactly the same. And then I have 1 total resource and up to 2 orange gems remaining, so I can play this card out here, which cost me 1 resource and 1 orange threshold. Similar to Magic and other games, you replenish all of your thresholds and resources at the start of each turn. Yeah, that's true too. There's also some abilities like this card here that only uses my thresholds. So this doesn't cost me mana to use, but it costs me 2 thresholds that I haven't used that are orange to take control of something. Make sure the extension loaded. Forgot to activate it. All right. And there should be a mouse over overlay now if you want to mouse over and see what cards do on the board. Let's do. Deal 1 damage to your opponent before attacking. Not hitting me. So this is a 3/3. I want want to do here? This actually seems pretty good against, if I save that for next turn. I unfortunately can't play both these purple things, so I don't have 2 purple resources. So I kind of have to decide, do I want to do this or not? I think I'm going to burn the ghost in the system, because this is kind of like a removal spell in a pinch that has rush so it can attack right away. Then I'm going to go ahead and drop this here. When this comes into play, it draws a card, and then a divination, so I get to look at my top 3 cards and pick one to stack on top of my deck. I think I'm in for a recruiter. My deck's got a lot of units in it. So their power here, one of the things I like about Mythgard is that the deck building in Mythgard is really deep compared to a lot of other card games. Like, a lot of games that do different resource systems tend to have a lot less deep deck building in my experience, and Mythgard doesn't sacrifice removing resource variance to have deep deck building, which is excellent. So, in addition to being able to mix and match any combination of the 6 colors in Mythgard, you also have what's called a path and a power, which impact your deck building. So this power is similar to like a hero power from Hearthstone, where it's just something that costs 2 to 3 resources and you can use it if you have extra resources left over. My opponent and I are actually both using the same power. For 2, it can give something +1 attack.
Hey, watch the net.
And then I think I'm gonna burn this and drop another parry over here to block.
Fortune favors us.
And stack something on top here again. Like Gwent commanders. I'm not familiar with Gwent, so I can't draw a comparison there, unfortunately for you. We're down to 9 here. If opponents got more rush minions, they could potentially run us down here before we could close this game out. They're still at 14. That does not have rush. That's great. So this gives a minion the keyword fragile. So I'm going to go ahead and do this here. Fragile 3. So this takes 3 extra damage when it gets hit. So these trade off now. And then we have 2 resources remaining. Let's start with this and see what we get.
Hey there.
Nice. And I want to burn something for the turn, I think. Insurance Broker's pretty late at this point. Yeah, so one of the interesting decisions in Mythgard when you're playing aggro decks is like where you stop spending resources. So like, for example, I'm up to 6 here, but my opponent stopped burning cards at 4. And you can see here, one of the things, it can be tough to play defense sometimes in this game, because when you're playing defense, you need to be covering a ton of lanes. So like, I had units here and here, but that left these 2 lanes for my opponent unblocked. And now I'm down to 5. I think we're going to be okay here with my opponent almost out of resources, though. So this card, when it comes into play, it creates 2 other things next to it. So this will cover all of these lanes nicely.
Move along. Move along.
Move along. And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw... Oh, actually, Ghost in the system is great. So Ghost lets me look at the top 2 cards of their deck and pick one to put on top. So you can have the 2-1 instead of the 4-1. Follow the Mythgard on Twitter, and they'll be posting where we'll be able to get free corset codes from. What does focus do? Focused means if it's attacking the lane directly in front of it, it does 1 extra damage. And Mythgard said for the free corset codes, they're going to put out 6 codes, 1 for each of their colors over 6 days. Are they dead? Yeah, looks like they're dead.
Step aside. Step aside.
Oh, Forged. Forged gives a card a bonus if you've burned a copy of that card that game. They're going to start going out tomorrow. They said the 17th. So over the course of this week, they'll put out all 6 codes for getting cards for the core set for free. I played a bunch of this game before their 2 most recent expansions, and coming back and looking at deck lists, it looks like things from the core set still make up about half or more of most deck lists that people are playing, so it doesn't look like they've had a bunch of power creep, which is nice. Well, that's true. I didn't mention the rarity system. So you'll notice on my card images, there's dots in the corners of my cards. Some have 2 gold ones, some have 4 brown, and some have one blue. And that determines not only the rarity of the card, but how many copies of that card you can play in your deck. So the hardest cards to get, the epic cards, you can only play a single copy of. The rares you can only play 2 copies of, uncommons 3 and commons 4, which actually means that a lot of decks, their core is made up of a lot of common and uncommon cards because those are the only ones you can play multiple copies of. It also means that if you need to budget a deck you find online for whatever reason, if you budget a mythic you don't have, it's only 1 card out of your 40 cards as opposed to a whole playset. So the power level impact you take making a deck slightly more budget friendly is much more minimized compared to a lot of other games. Yeah, I agree. It's a good way to approach it. So this kills something across from it when it comes into play. But I really don't have anything else I want to play out this turn. I guess I could play this 1/1, but I think I'd rather get more pressure going. Yes, yeah, there are still free community decks in the client too. Something else that they do that's great is once per week, or what's the best way to put it? There's a pool of like a dozen decks built by the community that every week you get 2 of them assigned at random to you, and you can play those decks in constructed and ranked card for card without owning any of the cards in them. Is it once or twice a week that they rotate? It's at least once a week. Like I said, the number of features that they have in this client that are just like innovative and good and just like things that are just like, I wish all these other card games would do this, is just like, they've just done so much correct. Yeah, it's similar to like a free champ rotation on League. They rotate on Mondays and Fridays. Good. Thank you for the info. All right, so this thing is a 1/4 that gives my things blight when it hits them, which is annoying. I guess I just smashed through this, huh? Do I trade 2 for 1 on this? Catch you later, cable guy. Feel like I just want to cut through this.
Leave it all on the track. Thank you.
Hey, pay up.
One's got a lot of cards in hand here. We're a little bit ahead on board, but not by much. Well, they just did a whole lot of nothing, which is good for us. And so, something you'll see here that I love about the positional element of this game, you'll notice last game where I was playing defense against an aggro deck, I was deploying my units to the middle so I could block more lanes. This game, where it looks like I'm the beatdown, my opponent looks to be more controlling, I'm explicitly spreading my cards out so they're harder to block. By deploying my units on lanes 1, 4, and 7, my opponent cannot deploy a single unit and block multiple things, which is great. So, because you don't actually get to keep the cards you're playing in the feature deck set evolution, most of them are very competitive. some of them do kind of novel things. Some of them do kind of novel things as opposed to being as strong as possible, but in general, they tend to be reasonable. Wow, that's really good. Create a 2/2 Alpha Strike in every unoccupied lane. Well, shit. Can't really do much about that. Those things are just stonewalled at this point. And I can move things one over, but they're still going to be in attack range. I could pride my own unit to cut through, that's true. Yeah, maybe that's the line.
Do we have a mission?
And then no reason to attack in here and give them the free attack. Want them to spend their attack action next turn killing this. And unfortunately, like, we're ahead on board here, but, like, my opponent's got so many cards in hand, and they're still at 15. So, like, definitely feel pretty far behind. This is kind of cute. This has an activated ability that lets me move a lane enchantment. So I'm going to slide this over here so I can kill this. And then they still won't get it. This thing gets a snake every turn if it's open. So this way they have to move this over. Yes, damage stays on units across turns in this game is accurate. Lets you kind of combine multiple units into bigger removal spells, and it makes spells, things that deal damage, a little bit more valuable. All right, this is kind of what we needed to see here. This lets me generate some card advantage, which is nice. I guess I could keep moving this around. What does Born in Cruelty do? Set a minion's heal his health -1. I think I'm actually just going to keep moving this over, so that way they just keep not getting anything from it.
Fortune favors us.
Ooh, Jinsuk is nice. She can kill this stupid Alpha Strike thing that's really annoying us. Something -2/-2.
Reporting.
If they have a second Magmatar, I'm super sad that I packed my units in here, but I just don't want to put them where they're going to be exposed to the Striking Viper next turn. I guess I could have deployed this here, since I'm going to have Jinsuk. If I would have deployed this here, then they could only hit 2 of these with Magmatar. Maybe that's better, because I have Jinsuk coming up and can kill this next turn.
Flame. Take.
Oh, that's super unfortunate. This is a rare, so they could have only had one more copy of this card that they unfortunately did. Could drop this over here, shrink this, hit this, and then this is going to survive. And then I could use this to slide this over. I think it's the play.
the stitch.
This card's activated ability, blanking the Serpent Stud's been really funny. And I don't think I want to burn anything here. Like, I have some more expensive cards, but not a ton. So, this card has an energy mechanic, which is kind of similar to Planeswalker Loyalty. It starts with a certain amount of points. It goes up when I activate it, and then it has 2 down ticks, including an ultimate. Well, that's a 7-ring ritual. That fills every empty space on their board with a 3/1. As you can see. Okay. Murder you. I'm at 18. We're actually not dead here, right? Jinsuk's gonna clean up a lot of them. This is pretty good too. Like, I get to clean out a bunch of their units this turn. I get to, like, do this here and trade. And then I can play this out and trade. And then I can play this out over here. And I can play this out here. And then, yeah, and then they're only attacking us for 5 this turn. And then this has to attack here because it's blocking. And even if they kill this, I'm only taking 8, which is nice. Yeah, we played through that pretty nicely. I've got 3 souls, so at the start of my turn, I'm going to get a card back from my bin. I'm going to get the Axeman back. They are finally going to get a stake, and the Axeman's going to kill it. Sacrifice a minion, I gain immortal until sunrise. Well, this was the best draw in my deck, and it's not close. Let's spirit that one away. It's better than Path to Exile. It costs way more mana, obviously, but not only does it turn it into an 0-3, but it then shuffles the 0-3 back into my opponent's deck, so they have to draw an 0-3 at some point. So, a lot more mana, but a more premium piece of removal. Yeah, it's sweet. Send a message here. She ults at 6.
What happened to me?
When this thing dies, they get to Divination 3 and then draw a card, which is awkward. So I can move her over. Shift all players' minions as far to the left or right as possible. What is alting? It's basically like a powerful ability. I get a brand that I can return anything to its owner's hand, which is really powerful. So I'm going to give this -2/-2. And then I'm going to Axeman here and Axeman here. And this has Lurker, which means if my opponent's units can attack anything other than her, they have to attack anything other than her. Basically, if they don't kill Jinsuk next turn, I get to bounce one of their things every turn for the rest of the game, which is usually enough tempo to win. I don't think I've ever actually ulted this card before. No, no. Banish all minions with 4 or more health. Brutal. I mean, I guess that was like, that's like a sweeper that basically only got to be a 1-for-1, but it's still sad. This is actually a pretty good draw. It lets us potentially generate some card advantage here, which would be nice.
Hey there.
Damn it. One of our few, it draws the top card of our deck if it's a minion. A little bit of variance on our card advantage. They get to draw a card here. This is blighted, so it's going to die on my next turn. Yeah, I'm going to lose both of these minions next turn, and I'm drawing a Dark Passenger, and they've got 4 cards in hand at this point, so it feels like we're pretty dead. Gain life, occupy minion gains 1/0 per life gain. If the occupy minion has more than 9 health, it gets 3/0 and overwhelm. Yikes. I guess Born in Cruelty is good. Basically resets that.
I'll take the job.
We're also only at 10 now, though. Yeah, that feels like it's going to be the end here. This can sacrifice one of their other units to gain Immortal, so it just gets to eat my thing. Yeah, even those. Yeah, there isn't a mechanic called... So, I mean, to be fair, there's not a mechanic called Planeswalker Ultimates in Magic either. It's just like, whatever the biggest tick down is. Some people refer to it as, so it feels natural to refer to that here too as well. So this card has a mechanic called Forge, which all my copies of this card get better if one of them has been burned. So I'm going to burn this one to start. We have 3 of those in our deck.
Reporting.
Hot stuff coming through.
What?
And then this is actually great because I get to play Axeman and kill the Cobalt right before it can ramp, which is excellent.
Pay up.
Time's up.
We'll have our insurance broker on 3 here. This is another This is another good use of the energy mechanic. So this starts with 1 energy. Every time another minion dies, she gains energy, and then she can spend 3 energy to draw a card. If occupied, occupying minion and adjacent minions get +1/+1. Creates a statue there to start the turn. That's neat. Most of the cards in my hand are pretty good here. I definitely want to play Broker this turn. I think I'm burning the Recruit.
Pay your premiums.
Pay your premiums.
Feeling unwell?
This card's super obnoxious. This card pays 1 to deal 1 to everything, and then it can heal. It heals at the end of turn. That one's definitely gotta go.
Leave it all on the track.
Oh shit, it's Lurker 2. Fuck me. Oh my god, we're gonna lose because I fucked. All right, I'm done. We're gonna play a different game. So we probably would have won this very easily if I knew what my cards did, or what their cards did. I guess I should say. We even drew the extra bike as the insult to injury at the end there. I mean, to be fair, what you end up burning for mana isn't usually really dictated by rarity so much as it is by how you're planning out your curve over the course of the game. So, for example, a lot of the mythics in this game are like the flashier, like top-end bombs. So, you'll end up burning mythics more often than commons and uncommons because you don't want those bombs until much later. Like, this 5-drop with Forge is great because it's part of my top end, so, like, burning that back into my deck and having it forged later when I draw it is excellent. Oh, one of the other balancing mechanics they do that's really nice that I don't think I mentioned yet today is my opponent had a coin there that let them, it's basically like the Hearthstone coin where it gave them an extra mana. And what your bonus is when you're on the draw is determined by a deck building decision. So this is my path. I haven't talked about these a whole ton either, but these determine your starting life. You notice my opponent and I started with different starting lives, and what bonus you get on the draw is determined by what path you've picked out.
Hey, pay up.
So again, there isn't just like a one-size-fits-all coin like you have in Hearthstone, where, so what benefit you get on the draw can be determined by you during deck building as a choice you make.
Watch me fly! Watch the net!
Oh, this is going to turn into a 4-4 in half a second. I guess I just put Cold-Blooded Killer in front of it.
I'll take the job.
So, you can't burn... Wait, what happened? Why was that discarded? What did I miss? Oh, when it transforms, it makes you discard a card? That card's really good. Man, my turn really sucks. I just don't have anything good to do. Like, I don't really want to burn this card. I guess I'm burning this. And then I have this for next turn, or this for next turn.
Do we have a mission?
I have my champion power to fill the curve here, at least. My power ability, it's not tied to a champion. It's just power. My path here says whenever one of our non-ephemeral things dies, we gather a soul and then eventually return things from the bottom of our deck, which is nice. That's like a, this is like a double-edged sword draw. Yeah, overrun is like trample. So this banishes something, which means this won't get to draw a card, but this also makes me lose a mana and a threshold. I think that's worthwhile. Our deck feels like it doesn't have enough card advantage in it. Probably gonna switch off of this after this game. This is a thing one of my viewers sent me, but we just keep running out of cards. We're not exerting a lot of pressure and we keep running out of cards. This out of the way so they can't run us over. Yeah, a lot of the units we're getting back with Journey aren't particularly great. This screwing with their lane enchantment sounds great though. Slide that right on over.
Yes, yes. Brilliant.
Yikes. So, Born in Cruelty is very good. Is very good with Axeman, at least. It's a neat 1-2 punch. Can you overwrite enchantment? So, in general, you can't. However, really enchantment-heavy decks tend to play this Rainbow's End as a path, which says you can overwrite enchantments, and it even refunds you mana when you overwrite it. So, in general, no, but if that's something you think your deck's going to be doing, you usually build with this path in mind. Yeah, I mean, this trades here, this goes here, this goes here.
Do we have a mission?
We haven't played the Rain Root deck yet, Lampton. There weren't really any new enchantments that, God, fuck me. Yeah. Yeah, I've only been playing for like a week and a half since I came back, and playing around things like Magmatar is something that you get a lot of equity doing. Need to remember to, our positioning matters against these red decks. I'm gonna change decks. This orange-purple deck seems real bad. One in three. Record confirms feels. This one we won all the team match games last time. Have a good one, Owl. Catch you later. I've not pieces. There's enough going on in just 1v1 play that I tend to stick to that. Ooh. My rank badge? Yep, maybe. Is the other person not ready? Yeah, let's just get the other person typed out. Yeah, that's exactly correct, Lampton. The last time we were playing that, the expansions didn't exist. So yeah, when they do the codes for the free core sets, that'd be a great one to poke in with if you like Mopey Controlled X. We'll play some. If this goes well, I'm probably gonna play this for the next hour or so, and then if this goes poorly, maybe we'll do Rain Root. But Rain Root will probably be like a 2-hour deck for the day, so maybe we'll do that on Thursday. I'll double check and see if there's upgrades. If there are, I didn't see them at a glance.
Leave it all on the track.
That's true. You did donate for Blue White today. I believe you. What is Rain Root? It was a control deck that was like B tier. It was like a B tier or C. Oh, let's be honest. It was like a C tier control deck like a year and a half ago when I first started playing. That was based around making like token created units and shuffling them back into your deck with I think it's root of the something or other to draw a unit out, and you just kind of like eventually you set up a game loop where you just like cycle Armageddon Angel every single turn, blowing up the board. Root of the World. Yeah, I think that sounds right. It was a 3-color like go long obnoxious grind you out control deck. I played a bunch of it last time we were into Mythgard. They did nerf it ageless, but they nerfed it before I started playing it. So I started playing it after they nerfed it. So it was actually, I think it was actually supposed to be like a pretty good deck before it got hit with the nerf bat. But post nerf it was still fun and I won plenty of games with that. I think I floated right about the 50% mark. Give or take. I love this Hearts board. It's very cute. I like the tactile clicking. It actually sounds very silly when I say it, but like when I played Runeterra, one of the things I missed the most about it was not being able to tactilely click on a majority of the game boards. Yeah, all the boards let you click on them. Like this is, you see my opponents here clicks too differently. The different animations depending on what cosmetic you have, but yeah, they all do something.
Come in.
Shopworn Bull Suite, he lets me draw a card and then put a card from my hand back into my deck. I need Pillage here. This has 0 attack, so no reason to run it into either of their things. Am I no longer playing Runeterra? Not at the moment. The metagame of their current balance patch is one I don't find particularly fun. And in comparison, Magic's current standard format is really excellent. So I've gone back to doing Magic stuff as my primary content. Still doing other variety stuff like this. Like we're doing Mythgard a couple afternoons a week. We're going to be starting Bloodborne tomorrow afternoon. So not going back to just being a single game streamer again, but just kind of floating between things that I like and opportunities like this for sponsored things that come up. But my metrics are definitely much better under Magic than anything else, so that'll probably be, as long as that game has a format that's good, that'll probably be a chunk of my content again moving forward. All right, so this is fragile this turn. I can trade these here, and I can ignition this, and then I can hit their face. Yeah, I plan to poke back into Runeterra when their next patch comes back up, but if I'm being completely honest, I'm not super optimistic about that game ever developing into content that's successful for my channel. Like, as a kind of sad metric, after streaming primarily Runeterra for almost 4 months, a lot of my Runeterra videos on YouTube were doing worse than when I first started playing the game. Which is like the opposite of what you want to see as a creator. Like, staying level is fine, but like, yeah. So like, that combined with the fact that like, the format itself wasn't great, it's like easy time to poke off into other things. Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of card game play is subjective. Like, for example, I know there's a lot of people that like their current format, even if I'm not one of them. And that's something that I've come around to a ton in my old age, is that like strictly better, strictly worse aren't things you should really use in terms of comparison. Yeah, let's lead that away. A lot of times things are just varying degrees of slightly different. I think I want to hold on to this for now. This is kind of a removal spell too. I've got a ton of things that are basically like pseudo removal in my hand. I don't think I want to burn this one. I think I want to keep this because I could play a 2 plus a 4 next turn. So I think that means Wings of Abaddon is my burn here. Card game players tend to be pedantic and extreme in terms of like things are ruined or, you know, unplayable or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine to say, like, games to the point where you stopped enjoying them. Like, that's a super reasonable position to have. Like, not every game appeals to every person, and like you should play games that you find fun. I'm definitely a big fan of, big proponent of playing games that you personally find fun. I think I'm burning the Shopworn Bowl. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. It's a less dramatic way to put it at the very least. Yeah, I agree, Pieces. Like I said, I was super happy to take like my 4-month break from Magic, but like coming back to it, it's been good. And Mythgard's great too, same thing, right? Like I hadn't touched this since their most recent 2 expansions came out, and like there's a lot of great designs in their most recent releases.
Reporting for duty.
This Magma Char cleans these up super great here. And then I'm gonna slide this over here. A lot of these stealth minions have a bonus effect when they hit the opponent, so I want to make sure I put something in front of here so that way this can't hit my dome directly.
Between movements and magic. I lost my rhythm.
And I remember to click the thumbs up button in the corner. I often forget while I'm talking to stream and stuff. And actually, the promo Mythgard is doing, where they're giving out the core set for free, it's really such a smart thing to do. Like, this game does so many things well, and the client is such good software. And like giving players that little bit of a sample for free to start will go a long way to getting a lot of people into the game. It also makes free to play way more accessible on the game, because it means like you can build reasonable decks with just core set cards to start, which is awesome. I think it sounded to me like they were only doing the you get everything for free for a limited time window in the core set. But honestly, I think if they're smart, they should probably just make that a permanent thing. If they're gonna keep doing regular set releases, having just, hey, you sign up and you have all the base cards for free and you build from there, I think would be incredibly smart. It's very crafty, good thing to do from a user acquisition standpoint. And that's the hardest part for these games, right? Even for big games, honestly, much less an indie project like Mythgard, where they have just like a handful of people working on it, like getting that initial glut of users can be so tough. I'm gonna burn wings and then flare this so that way this can connect and turn into a 3/2, which is great. It's also resource efficient to do that this turn. It makes too much sense for it to be permanent. Maybe, I mean, Mythgard, like I said, in general, they've done so many things that I'm just like, makes me think, oh gosh, that's so incredibly smart, that like, I feel like if there was a company that was gonna like do something like that permanently, it would be them. The giveaway for the core set stuff that I was talking about will start tomorrow, I believe. Keep an eye on their Twitters, I believe is the They said they're going to be posting them via different news places. Did Magic's core sets used to be cheaper than others? Is that a fever dream? I don't recall. I feel like I want to hit this one with Lita Stray. So that way it doesn't heal their artifacts and I can break this one. This says 6/6 on it. So artifacts in this game, and that's something I love about this game too. Unlike Magic where you have to have specific types of interaction, you can, when you damage your opponent's health, it also damages their most recently played artifact. Which means that you can kill them by attacking. In fact, I'm going to ignition their dome here to kill their most recent artifact. This is ready to pop now, right? Yeah, so one of their artifacts is going to pop off here. God, Wings is an incredible draw. Huh. So if I burn this, I can Wings here, and this hits them for 4. This hits them for 2, and then this ignition finishes their other artifact again. Sick, and they're down to 8 here. We're two turns off of the 7-ring ritual. Yeah, they did a good job with the full art. Also on here too, you could zoom in on the artworks too by clicking on the picture, which is something that I love. We just trade these. And I actually don't have anything I can really do this turn. I guess I could play this out, but the problem is I can only burn each card once. So if I don't burn this turn, I can't 7-ring ritual next turn. So I think I need to burn this. Hey, good game, Flash. Hope you're enjoying Mythgard. If you watch my stream long enough, you'll see that I have plenty of slops myself. We've had 1 or 2 concessions where I just like completely flubbed the turn. It's just like, nope, we're gonna move on. So any card we can burn next turn will let us cast 7-ring ritual, which would be great because they're at 8. That, however, is a traitorous murmur. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I don't have a 3rd green yet. Damn it, Bobby. I think I still just grab this. Warded doesn't stop this, right? Cannot be damaged or destroyed outside of combat. Yes, I can still grab this. Just like 6 mana mind control, get you. And thanks for the follow, Flash. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we were just talking about the corset release. Okay, I don't want anybody at home to be upset. Mommy and Daddy are just having a little custody battle over the White Tower Warden. I promise we still love you. So I get to draw another card with this next turn. If they burn something else. Do I want to... I could calculus this, but it's not quite resource efficient. I think I want a 7-ring ritual and just get a bunch of 3/1s. Their deck does play Chain Lightning, so if they have that, they get to clean these up. Giving them the clap is also pretty good here. It cleans out my entire board. It's unfortunate.
There are always
Bella! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they both have 4 toughness, chat. Oh, the calculus is yummy. Don't tell Scotty, chat. Don't tell him. Oh, yeah. Calculating. The power of math. A draw 2 is really good here. We would really love one of our draw 2s, right? I've got 4 copies of Raid the Tombs. It's definitely our best draw at this point. We're one off of getting to draw a card with that. So this stupid artifact is going to kill my thing, but when this dies, they have to discard a card, right? Demise, your opponent discards a card, so let's do that. Make them discard. Think I'm just holding on to this for now. I could be right to burn this, because I'm going to draw 2 cards next turn.
Reporting for duty.
If our draw 2, if one of our 2 cards for next turn involves a draw 2, we're gonna be in a really good spot. Man, that's super unlucky. There's 13 cards into our deck without any of our divinations. I'll put Gallows Boy down here. He's warded, so that means he doesn't take damage from this, which is great. I'm still at 20, so I can like take a hit from 7, and they're at 8, so they're probably gonna want to move this down if they can't interact with this some other way. And you see them spreading out their units because they know they're on the defense. So they're spreading their stuff out so that way I can't deploy rush units to get them. Bella!
There are
I
always
guess we'll Bella.
consequences.
If I would have sequenced that, this is different than Magic. This is not... Oh, it's not forged either. I'm dumb. That didn't matter. Okay, that's fine. So we're at winter. So also 3 more cycles away from that doing something useful.
Use wisely.
Whenever your opponent creates a minion... Yep, that gives them a 5/5 here. Probably gonna need to use Bella to stun this out for a couple of turns. Bella is 1 energy to stun, so it's not too bad. Our life total is catching up to us now, though, as well. Got enough turns with bricks that these things are wearing us down. There we go. Raid the tombs, chat.
Flame. Take
Like I said, we really needed a draw 2. It's a shame this is a little bit too big to get led astray now. Close game though, because they're at 3 cards. My hand's not very good, if we're being honest. Could realistically use another Raid the Tomes. Would really like one of our biggity bombs here, like a stag or a torso. Even a bird would be fine. Our own White Tower Warden. This also has, this is Blast 2. Deals 2 non-combat damage. Adjacent enemy minions after striking. We do this because she has Lurker. So this means that this has to attack this. I can stun this for the turn, and then next turn, this with Slayer plus this can kill their 6, potentially. Well, I mean, the good news is there is no good news, chat. It's all bad news. It's all bad news. Everything is bad where we have lost. Probably. If I moved Bella, you're right. I could have. It ended up not mattering because of what they had, but you're right. I definitely could have. I think these are too little too late at this point.
Come in.
Okay.
This one's for the ladies.
I've seen that one. What does that do? Draw 3 cards, choose non-ephemeral card for hand, and shuffle it back into your deck. So, we found one of our bombs here. So, these trade here, this eats here, and then this regens. Probably dead. What's this to 1? If this didn't have regen, we could maybe clear out here, but it does. Or we're actually just dead. Oh, this is focused. That's why these were killing us so fast. They're focused. Got it. Yeah, it just took us way too long to find any of our draw 2s that game. I think if we would have had a draw 2 and like the top quarter of our deck, we might have been okay. But they just found their card advantage way before we did. I actually don't know if I like this card in this deck. I might replace this with something else. Our deck doesn't have a lot of good 1-drops in it, but I'm not really sure that that's a problem at this point. I guess this gives us something cheap to throw in the bin, but like it's so tough for this card to connect in so many of these matchups. Our hand's a touch awkward here. If we don't draw something useful, we might have to like play a lead astray next turn just to like make sure we use our resources for the turn. Although I have to burn a green card to do that, so I'd have to give up the Raid the Tombs or the Fated Firebird. Wait and see what we draw, I suppose.
Let's feed.
That's not terrible. I think I want to just get this down ASAP. This thing, when it survives for 2 turns, it turns into a 4/4 and makes our opponent discard a card. This is one card that's been really impressive in every deck I've played it in. Just like good curve filler, has an activated ability to spend resources on, and scales into the mid game with you. Okay, so they're mono red. Do I play around Crimson Pact here? I guess they could also have... I can't decide if I want to invest into this. I could empower it. I think the answer is no, because in addition to Crimson Pact to destroy it directly, they also could have the 4/1 with Rush. I don't believe there's any cards that influence energy generation in the game currently. Someone in chat, if that's incorrect, let me know. On the cards that I'm familiar with, that is not a mechanic that I've seen. They have Incinerate, Ignition, yeah. So they could have killed this regardless, but with this plus the Ignition, but then they'd be down a card. Magmatar looking stellar as always. I'm going to go ahead and ignore their pup and just crack them for 5 directly. This card is agile, it can attack past blockers. They want to attack into here, they can use their action to do it. I don't have to. I guess because this is fragile now, they could use their power here to give this +1 and hit it. Yeah, Magmatar's like a kind of default, just like good mid-range card, right? It's just like world's best Flame Tongue Kavu. It's probably the best Flame Tongue Kavu in Mythgard easily. We are down to 8 here. We could get burned out. They might actually put this on here and knock us to 6. Pretty scary. I think we're actually burning Firebird at this point, because I don't think I can afford to take a hit from it. And again, they're in an incredibly favored position from this board state because I can't put down 1 unit and block everything. Them spending their turn to draw cards is okay-ish for us. It means they're not adding to the board. They could have the 2/1 rush for 2, but other than that, they probably don't have a rush unit this turn. We could have a Panic Raider, I suppose. Looks like they're playing something similar to the big red deck that I played a bunch on stream. I like this list a lot. Well, I don't think I was playing Ignitions in mine.
Wanna burn?
And again here, kind of highlighting that difficulty you have playing defense in Mythgard on occasion if you're behind on board, where they were able... I deployed my thing to the center last turn, but then they deployed left and right here. So I get to put this here, and I get to put this here, but like, they have an ignition to kill this, so this trades here at least, but we're taking at least 2 when they burn this off. This is warded, so they can't kill this one. I put the warded one on the right side here explicitly because this gets a bonus when it hits me. So I wanted them to not be able to ignition this to get through with this one. So you can kill this to get through here, but they at least have to trade these before it gets bigger. I have enough card to raid the tome again next turn, but... Yeah, got me. Giant growth there, plus ignition for exactly lethal. All right, I've played enough with this. We died a couple of times. Let's try and mope around with the Rain Root deck. I think I put this together. I did make a couple of changes. Arctic Fire is a real upgrade. Card sweet. Oh, Lady in the Water was another good one. Whenever another serpent gets created or destroyed, it's real good with Serpent 10. Alright, I feel like I should deck tech this one really quick because it's kind of convoluted. So, Rainbow Root Control. The rainbow refers to our path here. So this is the Enchantments Matter path. So this is how this deck actually generates card advantage. At the end of your turn, if the top card of your deck is an enchantment, you draw it. And if we look at our deck here, we have 22 enchantments. So we're basically a coin flip every turn to draw the top card of our deck. Jacob, Daddy is working right now. I need you to go out to my office, please. 40 minutes, and then we will go out in the snow, okay? It is a lot of minutes. And then, so we generate card advantage that way with our various enchantments. One of the ways in which we stay alive here is with Bename Falls. Whenever a minion is created here, you gain 2 life. And then the root part of this deck is Root of the World, which says the occupying minion can pay 1 to put it on the bottom of its owner's deck and then draw your next minion. So what this deck basically looks to do is it has lots of things like Clay Effigy that create ephemeral things and Serpent's Den. Ephemeral units can't be put into your deck, and you take these created ephemeral units and put them into your deck with Root of the World to draw much more powerful units like Armageddon Angel, for example. So let's go ahead and select this one and see if we can fumble our way through a game win or two. Eventually, if you get super late into the game, you can, like, loop Armageddon Angel every single turn.
You always do. And you always do.
That's the goal, is to always do that.
That will always do. That will go I ever seen. That will go I ever seen.
Alright, so probably burn in Sapo on one. We do have a rainbow for our path. We're a rainbow deck. Huh, actually, I have the coin here. I wonder if we Arctic Pyre on one to get in front of this. I can, like, burn an Arctic Pyre here. And then get a mana and then play this in the middle. And because we burned one of these, this is Forge. So this makes a 3-1 here, which is great. Would you like to trade?
Shake at it. Yeah.
Shake at it? Want to trade?
Yeah.
I'll take that trade.
Yeah, deal.
Deal. They took the deal, Jake.
Deal. Shake at it. Shake at it. All your puddings.
You're adorable. And then we can actually Clay Effigy here. And it's a 1-1, right? Because of this thing, which is actually quite perfect.
What? Daddy, what?
This has swift, so it can take a move action each turn. So this can get out of the way of my 1/1 effigy here. Yes. Forge is not always +1 attack. So different cards get different bonuses depending on what their forge bonus is. So this enchantment's forge bonus is the occupying minion gets +1 attack because it's forged. So anything we put here will be +1 attack for the rest of the game. Next turn, I probably want to deploy the Serpent's Den, so if we don't draw a different yellow card, we'll want to burn this clay effigy. The Serpent's Den makes a snake, and then it makes a snake every single turn.
Like so many times.
Lots and lots of snakes.
And we go have an army. And we go if our dad gonna be canine snake.
Let's put this one here, so that way this 3/4 can't attack into here. That way, if this wants to attack, it's going to, so they can't attack the turn we play, then they have to wait a turn. And you can see, we drew this for free at the end of the turn, because it was an enchantment on top of our deck. Restore 3 health to a minion. That's pretty good.
But are we not very good? Hey, what did you do about the super snake?
I think I just Goliath Web here. If I wasn't gonna Goliath Web, I should have burned one of these. So I didn't burn a blue card, so we're pretty committed to playing this out here.
That means you but right.
We got spiders and snakes, Jacob.
We gonna have a spider and snakes?
Spiders and snakes, yep.
Spiders! Bushes! Net!
No, the spiders and snakes, they're teammates. They're working together. It's the spiders and the snakes are fighting the canines.
Spiders and snakes, yeah, but canine.
So this turn, we'll get to burn Root of the World here. And then we can give them the clap here. And then we could drop Eager Recruit over this away. Sweet, there's another Arctic Pyre. Arctic Pyre seems like a solid upgrade in this deck. I could see playing the full 4 of these. I've only got 3 of them in here right now, but it's so good when it gets forged. Having more of them seems very powerful. And this is deadly in the spiders this year, so even though they healed this will still trade here, which is great for us. Okay, so drop this here so it's deadly. I put this Arctic Pyre. I'll put it over here, I think. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this and slide it over. Because if this is empty at the start of the turn, it generates a snake. And then actually, I could drop Root of the World here, and I could use this to draw, right? That's sick. Love it. See our beautiful landscape here, padding out with our enchantments, which is another wonderful part about playing this deck. And then Bedame falls here. Wow, way to move all my carefully positioned enchantments over. That's rude.
Oh,
These are still right next to each other, though, which is great. So I just, like, move the snake over. What's your great idea? Make our own cosmetics, yep.
What's up? The wet. All creature by attack at the same time.
No, they all attack one at a time. Everybody gets their own attack in this game. Okay, I love you. I will come get you after I'm done working, okay? And we'll go out and play in the snow. Please be a good listener for your mom. This card's really good with our path. It gains energy to divination, which looks at the top 2 cards of our deck and then puts one on top, which means we can stack enchantments on top of our deck to draw, which is lovely. As far as thresholds go, we want to make sure we get triple yellow and triple orange. So we already have triple blue, so we probably don't want to burn any more blue cards here. Make that one fragile. Burn this. I think I'm going to play Falls. I'm going to play Falls here. And we're going to do this here.
What do you seek?
By default, you can't move enchantments, no. You can, however, there are cards that let you move them, like the one that you pointed out from a second ago. Let's divination here. Really matter, I just want to draw one of these. So we put an enchantment on top of our deck, so we'll end our turn, so we'll get to draw that guaranteed. So we really got our card advantage rolling here now. This guy gains 2 energy every turn as he gets shuffled back into my deck. Rude. This is my deck every way. It does not. My deck is playing the one that lets me rearrange things on board, though. Lady in the water. Minions that this threatens get -2/-2. That sounds great. Oh, Sunrise minions just threatening to get -2/-2. It's a little bit less good than I thought. All right, so do we Pride the Lord? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this here, and then I'm gonna Pride this one, I think, actually. Because remember, this can't take damage from the thing that's prided, so this is threatening here. I can't burn this anyways, might as well play it out, right? We haven't even gotten to use my power yet. My power spends 3 to banish a card from my discard pile to generate a unit, so we can use my power with 4 to draw a unit out of my deck, which is great. Okay, down to 16 here. So this gets to eat this turn. I think we're actually drawing a unit like that too. And then this is a great draw because it generates a unit. So I get to put this here and then draw 2 with it, basically. Yeah, there's a Guardian Angel.
Do we have a mission?
And then I think I want to be able to get an angel, so I'm going to burn this orange card off here. Really seeing the card advantage get firing here. But we're exactly what we're looking to do. I think I want to work a 4th Arctic Pyre into here. The card was really good this game.
Need a wrench?
Targets down.
Animation's so good. I think I want an extra orange here. You can use this down over here. And then my opponent's out of cards at this point, so we are solidly into garbage time here now. There's no way my opponent's catching back up. Yeah, they agree. That's correct, Descartes Cesar. Once you get to 10, that's all you got. I want 4 Seascapes too. I'm gonna get rid of this oil field. I guess Guardian Plateau is bad. Yeah, it's probably bad. I get rid of this Rune of Denial. Was not expecting that 2-mana Arctic enchantment to be as good as it was. You are restricted to 40 cards. Yeah, six color decks aren't really a thing in this game. Settolution, you are correct that they aren't viable. Usually triple threshold, like what we're playing is about as far as the resource system tends to stretch. Oh, can you play more? Okay, that's good to know. Sweet, yeah, the double Arctic Pyre Leprechaun's point on the draw seems really good. You get to, like, burn one of these and then do this and play it on one. I suppose if you were with very specific deck building, you could probably play 4 to 6 colors, but I think you'd have to basically ensure that you only play single threshold cards, which is a pretty big deck building restriction in this game. You see our path here, drawing us an enchantment at the end of turn. Again, the key source of card advantage in this deck is the fact that we're half enchantments. This gets to keep drawing them up, which is lovely. I think I probably want to set myself up to Serpent's Den on 3 again, so I'll probably want to burn an orange card next turn. So the multicolored cards, in this game are, what's the word that I'm searching for? They are, they have a certain color circle around the color that the circle is around the mana cost determines what threshold you get when you burn something. So the multicolored cards will have one color or the other around them. You don't get to pick. So I guess I just trade these. I think I'm burning this. I'm playing Sandscape over here. Sandscape creates deserts on the adjacent lanes, which is nice. But like basically gives me discounts later, because when I overwrite enchantments, I get a discount in mana back. This thing's gonna ramp them too eventually. That's fine. Big deal. I think I'm gonna burn one of my Serpent's Dens. Okay, so I have 4 resources altogether. If I put this over here, I get 2 back. So it's gonna spend me down to, it only costs me 1 basically. And then I could go ahead and still deploy this in the middle here, which sounds good. We're probably thunderclapping next turn. Does it have armor? It's not. Okay, so we'll burn this. I can put Bename Falls here, and it gives me 1 resource back. And I can go ahead and clap and kill all of these. So my opponent's ramped a whole bunch here. The question is, what can they do with it now? Absolutely nothing appears to be the answer. You love to see it. The desert enchantments replace, you gain 1 maximum mana. That sounds lovely. This ramps me, which is great. And then if I put this here, it's effectively free. Just costs me thresholds. And then I can put this here.
Reporting.
And I can use this activation to draw a unit out of my deck. And then notably, even though I have 1 resource left, I don't have an orange threshold, so I can't play this Parasol Recruit. We've got our engine nice and set up at this point. Opponent's got their stuff going too here. Copy one of your other artifacts into your hand. Neat. Hello, youngest son. Huh? Whenever their minion is destroyed or created, this gets +2/+2. Sounds kind of appealing, honestly. I don't think I need Misanthropia this game, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. This makes this immortal until next turn, which is sick. And then I can drop this here to gain 2.
Do we have a mission?
And remember, even though we're running out of cards because we're unfortunately hitting a bunch of units on top of our deck instead of enchantments, I can always use this to cycle through. This game get Blight 1. Rude. Declan, I love you. I need you to go out of my office, please. Thank you. Okay, so I wonder how this... I don't actually know if this counts. Does this count as it getting destroyed for this? It does not. Okay. That doesn't surprise me. Let's draw draw some units here, hopefully. No, I mean, I guess we're guaranteed to draw units, technically speaking.
Reporting.
Magnus is pretty good. Well, I could have done him before this to hit all their stuff, huh? I've not burned anything for the turn yet. I'm going to burn this. That's braggy. Oh, if I would have created this here, this makes my other minions cheaper while it's there, right?
Do we have a mission?
Okay, I want to just play this out to use my resource for the turn. Man, another unit on top of my deck, huh? My opponent and I are both on very high life totals. Probably going to see this game going out. What's the IP or story behind this game? It is, think Cyberpunk meets, Cyberpunk meets various mythologies is basically what it works out as. Oh, the virulent strain is what was on top of my deck. Okay, that makes sense. I think I'm burning this. Do I want to kill this? I think so. And I think I'm actually playing this here and then cycling back through him.
Brilliant.
And then I can create this here and gain some life using my resource. I got plenty of cards in my bin. And so, one of the things that's great about this deck is things like Armageddon Angel and the Braggy I just put into my deck. We can Geddon Angel, we can cycle through these effects multiple times per turn, which is great. I might actually want to slide this over to here. They're loading our deck up full of these, which is real annoying. Alright, I think we do this. Draw a unit. And then we do this. Draw a unit. And then we go Geddon Angel here, kill everything. And then the question becomes, do I want to... Do I want to shuffle this in too? I think the answer is yes. Just so I have that in my deck. Yeah, and then we're done for the turn. So my opponent gets to put a bunch of virulent strains in our deck every turn. What does this do? Alright, let's do this, and then we'll drop the sap here to kill that.
I hunger.
We'll drop this here and cycle it through. What's that? We could technically use the... I'll do one of these. Let's get through it. There's 28 cards in my deck. What a silly control mirror. Where like they're trying to fill our deck with this crap, but we keep getting to use the root of the world to get through it. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this here,
At last.
which lets me pride this and then kill this with Sapo. And then I can braggy. Actually, let's braggy one of these. Okay, let's do this here, because this makes all my units cheaper. And then I can braggy here so he's invulnerable till next turn. Can you feel it? Oh yeah, these are ephemeral, so if I braggy them, they just go away. That's so good. I feel like our go-long's gotta be better than theirs. Well, we'll see though. Oh no, they blighted everybody. That's so rude. Okay, so here's the plan. We're gonna slide this over to here. We're gonna slide this over and put it into the deck. Yep, so this goes to here and dives on in. And then this is going to draw and get rid of one of these virulent strains because they're ephemeral. And then I think I want to save Braggy with the root of the world here. Like I can't save them both. I think Braggy's more important. So let's bounce Braggy into there. Here's an eager recruit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's put this here, which makes these free.
Do we have a mission?
Your mission is you exist to draw other things out of my deck. You want to save Sapo? I have a Geddon Angel in my deck still. So we'll get to a point where we're looping Geddon Angel, and it'll be fine. It might not be fine. I don't actually know.
Reporting.
6, 7, 8. Oh, I forgot to use my power. Crap. 7. I forgot to use my power here. So my opponent's is basically stacking my deck full of these crappy cards every turn. But then... Alright, so let's... Magnuson here.
Yes, yes. Brilliant.
And then this trades, and then we can cycle him in and see what we get. Okay, there's Geddon Angel. And then with Geddon Angel here, if I deploy... If I deploy Sandscape over a 3-mana one here, I gain a resource. Oh, that takes me... It takes me off of orange. If I deploy this here, it gives me enough resources, right? Oh, wait, I have enough because she's only 6. Oh, she's only 6. This is perfect.
Targets down.
All right. What a silly game. I do want to be able to loop with her. You're not wrong. No! Oh no! They calculused my angel. Are we dead, Chad? I think we might be dead. Oh no. All right, what's left in my deck to loot? More eager recruits. All right, well.
Reporting. Do we have a mission?
I do have a Magnus. Oh wait, I can look at my deck, right? I have a Magnus and a Brassy. Right, there's a deck tracker. God, this game's so good. They're at 23 cards in their deck. It's actually kind of low-key a problem that I kind of need to like play a bunch of these enchantments out so I can get them out of my hand, right? Oh yeah, this isn't like Rune Terror, right? You discard at end of turn if you have too many, you don't burn them away. In my head, I've been thinking this is Rune Terror, but it's not. You discard end of turn, you're right. Do I keep an eager recruit cycling? I think I do, right? So we Scion.
At last.
We Scion this. We hit it. We make this fragile. We hit it. We hit them. We hit them. We put this back into our deck. I think I honestly put this down over here and get some more snakes going. You want to loop a recruit? Yeah, it's probably right.
Reporting.
So I have Eager Recruit and Scion in my deck now. I'm honestly enjoying Rube Goldberg Mythgard. Oh, it does count virulent strains too, doesn't it? 18 virulent strains. So these pulsing things are my opponent's artifacts, one of which is loading up, or 5 of which are loading up these virulent strains into our deck every turn. Our deck would be unplayable if it wasn't for the fact that, we have roots to turn into guaranteed units every turn. How am I choosing decks for Mythgard? I'm just playing decks that I find interesting. Yes, against literally anything else, our opponent would have won a long time ago.
Broken again.
At last.
But not against our pile of annoying bullshit. No, against our pile of annoying bullshit, they're gonna keep playing.
Broken again.
Yeah, I don't know what their win condition is either, honestly. Okay, so I only have one more threshold. I think I just go ahead and do this here. I have to discard cards. It's a tough choice. It's a tough choice, but we'll discard these. Alright, and then Scion's the only unit in my deck right now, so I'm guaranteed to draw that with Rain Root if we find it. The person earlier who said I should have saved Sapo, you were definitely correct, by the way. You probably know that, but you certainly were.
At last.
Does this just resummon itself then? It does. It does. Okay, right. It been a while. I wasn't 100% there how that was gonna go.
Broken again.
They're down to 20 cards in deck, chat. Oh no, they hit us down to 30. Oh no.
Vulcan on site.
Oh no, we're gonna lose because I don't have my Armageddon Angel, chat. We're gonna lose because I don't have my Armageddon Angel. Yeah, I messed this up. I exposed my Armageddon Angel and he got Calculist. I think we're dead now because they deployed a bunch of. Yeah, I think if we loop Geddon Angels, we easily win this, right? Because they just can't do what like they had to save up a couple of turns to do what they've done here. And if I had Angels looping, they wouldn't have been able to do that. I mean, their win con is like these and putting things into our deck. It's just like we get to ignore that, right? Is basically what it comes down to. Can you feel it?
that's my last song for the night.
Vulcan on site.
Yeah. All right. I gotta get ready because it's after 3 o'clock. I think we got there. I need to be more conservative with both. Either I can't lose both my Sapo and my Angel and win a game like that. So I think if we would have kept either of those two, we probably would have been okay. But without either of those, our opponent definitely is going to get up and over us. We'll have to play this deck some more on Thursday. It's very silly, and the couple of the new two mana blue enchantment seems really good. So we'll start with this one again on Thursday. Get a feel for how I'm supposed to prioritize protecting stuff. So at any rate, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Remember, if you want to check out Mythgard, it's available on Steam. You can find it there or online as well, or on your mobile device. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some Magic the Gathering, and then we're going to be starting Bloodborne tomorrow afternoon for my variety segment. And then, like I said, we'll be back with more Mythgard on Thursday. So stay safe out there, folks. Peace.